Hi there, this video will instruct you how to make a filler flower. It's kind of reminds me of a dandelion. So we're going to cut all the petals according to the instruction document at the beginning of the video. And it's also saved in my PhotoFabPaperFlowers photo album 2022 crafting happy hour instructions. Okay, so you'll cut again all of these according to the instruction document. And then we're gonna pierce holes in the center of every single one. So I'm just gonna use the embossing tool, which is available from Dollar Tree. And just right in the center, I'm gonna zoom down a little bit. You can pierce a hole. So there's only one of them you won't pierce a hole in. So we can just set that one to the side. Okay, now that all of our holes have been punched in the center, so that allows us to thread it onto our floral wire, which is 18 gauge. Okay, now for a few of them in the center, so we're going to go with about the first 5, including the one we didn't pierce a hole in. So in between where you can see that nice little break, just cut slightly into the center with the precision scissors or a small little scissors. You can purchase these at Dollar Tree. Those are in pink. Just a slight little slice into the center. So keep that one separate because that one doesn't have the hole. So the Dollar Tree ones are just a pretty pink. So again, we'll just do a total of 5, 4 of them with the holes. So just go right in between. Just a slight little cut, just a little bit of a sliver. This will allow us to really roll the center and lift those petals. This is a fun looking filler flower. And I'm only doing one at a time just because I don't want to accidentally cut off any of the petals or slice too far into the center. I'm doing it at the natural break in between each petal, like it's a group here. Okay, and our last one. Okay, so remember this is our very top one. So we're just going to roll the center with the smallest metal ball stylus on your flower shaping mat to really lift those petals. And you can squish the bottom. So I'm going to stack the 4 we cut into the center with. Actually, don't worry about that. We're going to take our needle nose pliers and our 18 gauge wire, and we're going to make a very tiny little loop. Bend it around. Okay, so now that it's flat, we're going to bend it 90 degrees. Now I'm going to cut my floral wire in half so I don't poke the camera. And we're just going to roll the center of the 4 that we cut into the center. So we're going to take one of them, thread it through. We're going to add a little bit of hot glue on the bottom. And lift her up. So it should look like that. Okay, now we're going to take the one we didn't put a circle in the center, and we're going to glue it right on top. You can press the bottom. Now we're gonna just keep threading our centers through the holes we poked. Add some glue to the bottom. And you can do a little bit around the side just so it stays up, because we want it a little bit tight here in the center. Thread it down and press around. So I'm going to lift up just a little bit with the camera. Okay, take your next one, and these are all cut at 2.5 inches wide, so they're all the same size. Add your glue along the bottom, and I'm just going to do a little bit along the sides again. So you can see the start of something fun. Take our next one, and you can just see that we're just going to keep adding on. So I do try and thread this piece in between the 2 previous layer pieces. So we want it to have like a little bit of a spiky look. Now we're just going to take our next 4 and we'll just roll the centers. thread them on. Add your glue. So when you're bringing it down, remember, here's 2 of them. Look at one of them and place it right in between. Add your glue. Again, when we're threading down, you can see the break between 2 of the petals. Bring one of them right in between. So you can see how it's starting to look like a dandelion, because we only roll or cut into the center of the first 5, so it's gonna take shape where it's gonna come down and around almost like a ball. So we're just going to continue to thread and add, oops, thought I burned myself. Add your glue, thread it down, and then look in between 2 petals as you're threading and place this one in between the previous layers. So it's filling in those gaps. Now you could do this any color, so depending on the arrangement that you're making. Take our next 4, again we're just going to roll the center. And if your hole is not directly in the center, that's okay, mine aren't. Looks like little sunbursts all over here. Again, I'm looking in between 2 petals and I'm going to place one in between, so bring it straight down. Of course, you can do as many layers as you want, so I'm just giving you some suggestions. So if you didn't want it's super full. Okay, so again, I'm looking at 2 petals and I'm going to bring this one right in between. Again, look at 2 petals and bring one of these large ones in between. It's a super fun, spiky little filler flower. Super easy to make. Add your glue. Look at 2 petals and place that grouping in between. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 petals yet to add. Again, I'm just trying to place those petals in between the previous layer's petals. Add your hot glue. Thread it down. So now you can see it's basically starting. We can start to flip the petals over. So since we rolled them, what you can start to do is now thread it from the top, so where it's facing down. And that's the last 5 petals. So add your glue. So there you can see a little bit of a break. So if you wanted to start to do that sooner, you can do that. So again, we're flipping them over because we rolled them slightly up. Add your hot glue. Thread your petals. So it gives it a nice appearance. Oops. Flip them over so we don't forget. Place them in between the previous layers. Now if you wanted them all rolled up, you certainly can do that. I'm just rolling them a little bit more to have them really curled under. Flip it over. We just add our glue in the center there, and again we're trying to look between 2 petals and to place that next group in between. Can separate them a little. Okay, so I went ahead and cut a smaller piece just for my center. So again, all the sizes are on the instruction document, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut into the center, and I'm not going to pierce a hole in there at all. So I'm going in between the bigger pieces. Just don't cut your petals off. Now I'm going to use the embossing tool and really just use the smallest end. And I'm going to press in the center really tightly. Add a nice glob of glue. I'm just going to open this up slightly and press her in there. Okay, and then I did cut a sepal using the other center. So this one we are going to pierce our hole in the center. I'm going to roll around the center. So again, we're going to flip it over. That one I did not do in the center at all. Hold your glue gun and just add a little bit of glue around your stem. Thread it down. And then if you wanted to, I did cut a smaller one accidentally, so. Give it a double layer look. I do use the Cricut Fine Point blade, so I highly recommend that. So there's your bottom. Now you can make the center larger if you wanted to. If you wanted it coming out more. Super cute in Christmas arrangements since it is July 2022 and it's Christmas in July. Or like into your fall arrangements. So depending on what color. So these are fun filler flowers that could go with your Gerber daisies or any type of arrangement. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.